Alright everybody, as I roll through Tennessee here, I'm going to reflect back on my 21 deer season. Started October 1st, 2021, ended January 16th, 2022 in Illinois. It's a whole bunch of turkeys. 20 turkeys in that cornfield. And anyway, as I'm traveling back home to Alabama, I did harvest one doe and had several close calls with bucks, big bucks. Got a lot of trail cam pics of some good bucks. One great buck. Even got him on a day at the end of the season before dark. It was still legal shooting light, and I wasn't there. I went hunting somewhere else. So I did learn some stuff as I'm hunting with my ghillie suit. The ghillie suit's best early season, of course, on the ground. And a lot of times here in the late season, I would get noticed busted anyway, even though everything was right, just because the ghillie suit then began to stand out, because all the leaves and vegetation was gone and dead, and then I'm still trying to find places to hide with the ghillie suit with the correct wind. And when I did kill the doe, it was about the third time I'd hunted with the tree stand. It was the first time that week, and cooler weather, not cold, but it was cooler. I did it was about a 160-pound doe, so it was a real big doe. In fact, it's the biggest doe I've ever killed. And shot it with a crossbow, Barnett Whitetail Hunter STR. Bought it in 2020. But I didn't have to stay at the campsite as much. The campgrounds I was staying at, I was able to stay at a friend's house up there in Albion, Illinois. Albin, as they say, Illinois. Stayed there about 10 weeks, was able to get a job for about 6 weeks, I think, and then go back to resuming my hunting at the end of the season of January. About 10 days I was able to hunt there in January, which I killed my doe. So all that at the beginning were no kills, close calls with bucks. Wasn't interested in a doe till late season when the bucks became less visible and mostly nighttime photos. But I was able to get these trail cam pics, and so for next season I'll be able to look at the dates when the bucks were active during the daytime, maybe the temperature, and get on them next year around those times. But I did notice, end of the season, the biggest buck I got on camera, he was walking down the pipeline into the wind in his favor. It was slightly off from his favor, so I do know where I could have put a tree stand up, a climber stand, to get on him without him winding me. because a few days earlier, well, the day I killed my doe, I was up about 25 foot. I was up about 30 foot when I killed the doe. I didn't go as high this time. I went about 25 feet up, and probably an hour before dark, hour and 15 minutes before dark.
In half a mile, turn right onto US 641 South.
I hear something running and down the pipeline. I look over to my shoulder, and there comes a thick horned 8-point, and he put on the brakes and looked up at me. The wind was in his favor. Maybe he smelt me.
Take the second right onto US 641 South.
But I did turn my head and look, so maybe he saw me at 25 feet. It's just hard for me to believe he looked up and saw me, unless he had
continue on US 641 South for 34 miles.
Slight whiff of human for him to know something ain't right and anything needs to be looked at. So when I moved, he looked up. I don't know. It's just, if I'd been on the other side of the pipeline in that climber, it would have been better. Now the doe came out of the, I'll say, west side of the pipeline woods. These bucks, it seems to keep coming out of the east side of the woods. So I think next time I'm going to have to get on that west side, face the east side, give them the wind where it's slightly wrong for me, but it was still a wind should drift out over the highway and not back up where he's at, back out towards the roads in the parks where I'm hunting. But I saw, I think, 3 bucks the day before when I drug that doe out. Me thinking I'm not going to see any bucks, might as well go ahead and shoot a doe. Shoot the doe, drag it out into the wood, out into the pipeline, and there's 3 bucks standing there feeding, and wasn't even paying attention to me. By the time I picked up my binoculars and looked at them, they realized I was a human, and they run off. And one of them was a good one, and I'm guessing it was that 8-point that saw me the next day. So, yeah, another time I tried to cut one off, going down through the field, and I took off down through there to head him off, wind in my favor, but a doe picked me out and blew, and then he ran. And about the last 2 days of the season, same thing. I seen a buck go into a cornfield, and I tried to go cut him off in my ghillie suit. He ended up, I moved when I couldn't figure out where he was. I should have just stayed still. I wanted to go ahead and move on a little bit further. Well, he picked me up, caught me, blew, run off. He was a good buck. He was a 10. And we got him on trail camera that same day. So I know it was probably the same buck. He had the wind in his favor. So if I'd hunted the stand where the camera was, he would have busted me because the wind was in his favor. I would have to back up over the hill, probably in my ghillie suit, in some thick grass. Maybe. It would have been tough to get there with that wind nearly coming to him from me, and me still be able to get close enough to get a shot if he took that same path, which he had been on the camera. So anyway, yeah, keys for next season: Ozonics, a new ghillie suit. I ripped this one to shreds almost. Ozonics, the biggest, baddest, strongest model they got. Have it. I want to get the Summit Mini Viper climbing stand. It looks lightweight and portable, easy to use. And tree saddle. I want to get into the tree saddles, so I want to bring one of those up. This is all Illinois public land I'm talking about. I want to also do some hunting in Kentucky, Right now I'm headed back to Alabama, and it's still deer season till February the 10th. Today's like January 18th. February 10th is when deer season goes out in Alabama, so I'm gonna go down there. May take my crossbow, try to get me a doe with my crossbow. So yeah, more hunting stands, another ghillie suit, ozonics. Thinking about a hex suit. I don't know if anybody's tried the hex suit. I'm gonna try one of those. And I think I'm just about gonna hunt some of these best places I've narrowed down next year. I did find when one buck I missed, I had a shot at a buck in my ghillie suit. For some reason, he looked at me. I went ahead and shot, missed. Oh, that was another thing I learned. I had a mishap with my crossbow where the string came off. Going through some thick brush, I got tangled up. By the time I got to my tree stand, the crossbow string had came off. So I'm sitting there hunting for no reason. Had to go get it repaired. Luckily, there was an archery shop nearby that repaired it, the next day. I went, took it to them, they repaired it there within 15 minutes. And that was handy, but it made me say, hey, I need to carry a spare weapon. So I went home for Thanksgiving, came back and brought my compound bow also, in case something happened. I got a bow and a crossbow. But so restrung it, figuring the scope should be on, ain't nothing changed. They just put the string back on. No, resight your crossbow in. I was 4 inches low and to the left, and when I shot under that buck. I grazed him, got a little bit of belly hair, no blood, and it stuck up in the dirt, and he run off. And of course I sighted in the next day and realized how far that was at 20 yards. I was 4 inches off. He was about at a 30-yard range when I shot at him and missed. So it was probably even lower than that. So could have had me a good buck if I'd just done what you're supposed to do. And I like to say, when you do things the proper way, expect proper results. Proper way would have been my bowstring came off, sighted back in. It wouldn't have took one arrow for me to know the difference. 10 minutes. That 10 minutes of laziness probably cost me a buck. He was a good 8-pointer. I got him on video later. He was following a fresh rub line. That rub line was probably made way early season. It was probably 6 weeks later. There he comes walking out, that wind in his favor. So next year I will be watching fresh rub lines, put a camera on them, see what's coming in and out, if it's the buck you want, or if it's a lot of bucks and not many people are hunting that area, it's probably a good idea to get on the other side. They crossed the pipeline there. Get on the other side in a climber, wind in his favor, but you have a slight advantage there. Crosswind, I guess, quartering too, you can find where to get there and still be in range, and be ready for him up 25 feet, in a climber or saddle or something. I do think I want the saddles because it looks like you can hide behind the tree better than with a climber. And so the time to start buying all this stuff is now. Not wait till the last minute. I'll probably buy me a pretty tall ladder stand also. Have it on standby or placement. This area I'm hunting, you can only have one stand out. You gotta have your name on it. I don't really like having stands out with my name on it. One, everybody knows my name. Two, and who's hunting there, Two is, now they know that that's the spot some guy's hunting all the time. Must be a big one in there. I don't know. The one spot where I had seen a big giant last year and I'm all prepared for hunting that spot. Guy comes and puts a ladder stand up there before season, like he's supposed to. That's hunting public land, you know. I'm sitting there, got my heart set on hunting this location, and then there's a ladder stand right over there, watching the same trail I saw him walk out. I hunted it a few times. Saw one or two small bucks, never a big one. Did get a big one on camera, but it was after dark, right there in that same trail. So maybe that guy didn't do very well, and he'll get off of that trail and move that stand out of the way, and it'll be mine for the taking. Anyway, I did notice the deer moved a lot right after the rain. I know we've always said that, but right after the rain, deer would be everywhere, especially if it was getting colder during the day or whatever, cold front coming. So got to hunt in the snow once. Then the day after season it snowed, but it was a light sprinkling. I think I saw 0 during the snow, during my snow hunt. So anyway, that's summing it up for 21 deer season in Illinois, out of state. I got one doe, 160 pounds, got the meat in the back. Taking it back home. Gonna cook some up tomorrow. Can't wait. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe. Talk to you later.